This season is dedicated in loving memory to my Grandma Ganzak, who was one of the most skilled artists I've had the honor to know, and would always encourage my crazy, artistic, and more often than not childish ideas. Here's to you, Grandma. Welcome to Immoral-Mannered Richard. This is the story of me, Richard M. Barone. I am just attempting to sort through the veils of this mortal coil and potentially locate some high-quality kerosene lamps while on this journey. This is my account of the matter. Please take a seat, Mr. Jepson, and our scribe will type out what you have to say. Ahem. Thank you, Officer Brooke. My name is Orville Ulysses Jepson, and this is my account of the events that occurred to me on the morning of October 30th, 1832. The previous night had beckoned with its foul stench of mystery. Murder was afoot in our small, wild Midwest town of Magwanago, Wisconsin, and my ward Olivia had taken ill from the horrendous behavior commandeered by her swift actions against the church. Little did I know this conundrum would prove most superfluous. I walked to retrieve my morning breakfast sandwich from the local horse corral and cafeteria named Quick Trip. I handed the cashier several gold doubloons when I noticed the headline from our local newspaper, the Great Stationary Telegraph Vacationer, GSTV for short. It read about a secret society at Yale University that had been suspect to a recent murder that had caught national attention. I picked up the paper and paid for it along with my sandwich and coffee. As I walked back to my home in the midst of this Indian summer, I noticed a kick-up of dirt down the main street over near the Andrew Jackson rally, and a swirling hole that had opened up and closed in the sky. 3 individuals stood up and brushed themselves off. One a man in a hat and a large overcoat. One man with a crooked jaw, and one lady whose ankles were shamefully visible. The man in the overcoat reached behind his ear and drew a gun from seemingly nowhere. He shouted, "I call this beautiful revolver Herbie because he's always fully loaded." The other man and woman stepped back swiftly out of the town square and towards the recently burned Fork in the Road saloon as each drew a firearm from their person. I unwrapped my breakfast sandwich and was dismayed at the state of the bacon strips as I took my first bites. As I mentally expressed my distaste for the culinary skills of the chefs on that day, a shootout between the 3 individuals began on the dusty, empty town square as I hid behind some barrels of whiskey that lined the outside of the town doctor's quarters. The crooked-jawed man and his woman eventually ran off in the direction of the old reservation across town, after being inflicted with several wounds from the revolver of the man in the hat. He then windedly headed in the direction of the school just down the way. It was then that I got out from behind the barrels and set off on my way home. And that's everything you saw? It was. Everyone else in town was busy spreading smallpox at the Jackson rally down the road. Might I inquire as to why I was brought here for my account? And may I ask about the odd bird-shaped marking on your arm, Sheriff? Well, we needed to make sure there weren't any witnesses, Mr. Jepson.
Did you think I'd forgotten you?
To be continued. Welcome back.